Hey, how's it going? I actually have a guest with me. It's my boy, girldoesrant. How you doing?
How you doing? I hope I'm your girl, bro.
Um, is there anything you would like to plug or anything like that?
Just my Twitch channel. If you feel like coming over and watching me stream, come and join me on Twitch. I'm at Girl Does Rant, so come and join us.
All right, and just give them a taste of like what your personality is like, cause I don't know how to explain it.
I think you're gonna get a good taste of it tonight, if I'm being honest. I'm already a little bit drunk, so I'm well on the way. Don't worry.
Well, all right. What games have you been playing recently?
Most recently, I'm kind of touching back on like a lot of retro shit. Like I revisited Corpse Party. Was my most recent retro game, and I'd played the original graphically dumbed down version on PSP when I was a kid. And not only had I never finished it, but I'd also never picked up any of the sequels after the fact. So we've been going through like a whole Corpse Party marathon.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Me myself, I just been playing some GameCube.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, so like the really retro stuff. I have a few old consoles lying around here. Some of the stuff I had when I was a kid, some I inherited from like my dad because he was heavy into like old Atari and shit. But yeah, I've got a lot of that around.
Yeah, but it's weird though. Like I'm into a lot of retro. I'm into a lot of dumb retro shit. I just never really got into it. I just really never got into Atari. Like it's way past my time.
I honestly like I didn't even get into it until it was past my time, and it's really just like even though I grew up with a lot of retro, I think Atari is like too retro for even for my childhood. Like
Exactly.
that's a little too old for me, but like I'm getting into it now, but I grew up with the master systems for like Sega and Nintendo. I don't know if you played much on those.
I've I've heard of both of them. I just played on the NES and that's on the Switch, but I actually plan on picking one up.
Yeah, yeah, like a lot of the stuff that they've re-released as retro packs on the Switch right now was stuff you could get back in the Master System days for both of those. So yeah, I mean, if you've played a lot of the old retro stuff on Switch, that's basically what they'd have back then.
All right. Well, I mean, like when it comes to the NES or whatever, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the Switch. I just think like overall, I feel like I should. I just feel like overall, I should pick one up. Like physically get one, get a couple of cartridges, get the controller, plug it in. And just play a real, Nintendo Entertainment System game.
Yeah, totally. I bought I lost my old one from when I was a kid, so I bought a newer one a few years back, and like you gotta buy adapters for the TV and stuff because the new flat screens they don't support any of that old shit. But it's a lot more entertaining to play it on the old stuff rather than the Switch ports.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, nothing's really gonna beat putting actual stuff in there, plugging in and play. But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
um, so I
So
guess. Oh,
have
go
you
ahead.
got a? I was just gonna ask because I actually don't know. Have you got like a favorite genre for retro games, or are you just like anything? What are you?
For genre, I would say old school Grand Theft Auto, like the San Andreas era, Vice City.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yes. So you're more like 90s retro. You're more like a 90s retro fan, right?
I'm more or less 2000s, but hold on,
Okay.
hold on, give me a second.
Sure.
All right, sorry, where was I?
We were talking about your preferred genre being the kind of San Andreas 2000s
Yeah,
type stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Like when I first got into this, I just saw an old school GameCube commercial, and I'm like, huh, I remember that. And then I actually just pick one up. Then I got the PS2, OG Xbox, and yeah.
Oh, were
But
you not like a big retro fan before that, or is that what made you get into it?
yeah, well, it was oddly PewDiePie.
Oh,
Like,
really? I have nothing wrong with that. Hey, we all like our people. I'm a big Game Grumps fan, and I used to watch a little bit of Mark, so
nice.
yeah.
Like I saw PewDiePie play Conker's Bad Fur Day. I'm like, oh, what game is this? I Google it. Oh, it's for the N64 and the OG Xbox. Huh, I remember the OG Xbox, and then it started.
He probably owes a lot of people probably owe like a renewed or a newfound interest in like retro gaming to him and Let's Players like him, which is pretty cool, I think. There's been a lot of stuff that I've got into along the same way, so I get it.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
actually, though, it's weird. Like I used to love PewDiePie back in the day. Fights with PewDiePie and all that.
hmm
Uh, I I really miss those days. So when Let's Plays were a big thing, like I know it might be a bad idea, but why doesn't YouTube make like a YouTube classic or something like that? I know it's a stupid idea, but you know,
That would be nice. They would do that if they cared about their user base, that, the ones that they don't treat like big money piggy banks. That's honestly like one of the reasons that I got off the platform. I know you're still on YouTube, and like I don't begrudge anybody, but like I see the writing on the wall with this website, and it ain't good. I would honestly urge anybody to you don't have to come over to Twitch necessarily, but look for alternatives to house your shit.
yeah, I'm trying to move over to BitChute, but
Yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah.
I
And I'll,
I feel like on BitChute more people would see my shit, but I don't know. I'm a bit afraid of it. Whatever people might
yeah.
think my videos are kind of stupid and shit.
Don't feel bad, man. Just go wherever and dump your shit wherever. Who cares what anybody says? Like, as long as you like what you're doing. And besides, BitChute, like, it's a good place for mostly because it's considered uncensored. Whereas a lot of the other, even Twitch is fall into like a lot of censorship issues and TOS changes and shit like that. Whereas BitChute is at least for now safe from that, but it's not really a viable enough platform yet because I don't think they have monetization worked out much, if at all.
Well, they kind of do.
Do they?
It's kind of where a creator puts in their PayPal, and so if viewer wants to, they could donate to their PayPal. But
Well, that's a donation system, but I'm thinking more of like an ad-based kind of thing, like an AdSense type thing.
yeah, but I noticed she mentioned Twitch.
hmm
Twitch is quick. Twitch is quickly becoming the next ChatterBait or whatever. It's just like full of ethos and shit like that.
Fuck yeah, that's the best.
I mean, I don't mind that, but just not on Twitch really. Like that's my only gripe with it.
I don't really give a shit. I mean, the way I see it is if you got like dudes or girls, whatever, that are like thirsty enough to be watching that shit, like that's not your audience. They're not gonna come over and listen to you play and watch you play. They just want to see a big pair of tits. They don't give a shit. So it's not like you're being robbed of like a potential audience because they've gone to see some e-thought on Twitch. Like, no, this guy just wants to jerk off. He's not going to listen to your Let's Play. And that's
Right.
kind of how I tend to think of it. Like you're not losing anything.
Yeah. It's just like another gripe with it though. It's just like the ethos are so big on Twitch, like they spread to everywhere else. Like if a regular chick is just playing, I don't know, fucking Mario 64, they're just gonna be like, hey, show me your titties and stuff like that. I feel like it kind of spreads a little bit.
I mean, to be fair, like I was a tit streamer for a while, and I gotta be honest, once I started the gaming shit, which I've pulled back on because I do share your opinion that like just tits don't really belong much on a gaming stream. Like I prefer to focus on the game, so I actually share your opinion there. But like when I did do it, I didn't get very much harassment, even in the transitional stage when people associated me with kind of like the older image more. I didn't really have people perving out. So like, I don't know, maybe other girls that have like bigger audiences, maybe they have a problem with that, but not for me personally.
Yeah, I could feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not trying to, I'm sure that there's women that have to put up with that as a result of kind of the popularity of thoughts on Twitch. I'm not minimizing anything they go through or calling them liars. I'm just saying, I haven't experienced that myself.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
It's just overall, I loved Twitch during the older days in like 2015, 2016, but now, for me at least, it's becoming kind of a, it's 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 becoming the next, Chatterbait or whatever like that.
I hear you. I'm kind of hoping that a lot of the women that use that specifically just for the sexual aspect of it, like think about alternatives like Plexstorm, which I don't really, I kind of gave that a try, but it's an awkward platform at the moment for me. But, maybe if they present people with viable platforms that actually do intend to mix gaming and sex, like Plexstorm does, then at least it gives these women like a somewhere to go to where they won't piss off normal gamers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's just basically on my gripe with it. Like, I love
Yeah.
Twitch, just the ethos should go away. Like, I respect the hustle. I respect it. Like, if you want to
Oh, you
take,
got to respect them. Man, look, I'm sorry. I got to be honest with you, okay? If I could make some of the dough that these chicks make just from, jiggling their tits at the screen, I'd fucking do it.
exactly,
Blow me. I
exactly.
would absolutely do it. But, I just, I don't know. I'm lazy. I could do it, but I just want to play the games and talk shit. So,
Yeah,
you know, yeah.
yeah, I feel you on that.
Yep.
But back to the GameCube stuff though. I feel like we went on the tirade.
We kind of went off. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I'm mostly just focused on like 2000 stuff because that's basically when I grew up or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like what I'm more curious in now is like the N64 days, the NES days. Cause see, I didn't really experience that much, so I'm wondering, that's all curious, Like I first started with the GameCube. What was before that? What was before that? And then
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I grew up with, like, while I got into like the Atari stuff later, I grew up with primarily really the Sega Master System, which I think is defunct now. I don't think they make Sega anymore, right? No. But a lot of the games there were just, even compared to Nintendo, I think Sega games had like pretty brutal difficulties. And like that's something you don't really see much anymore. Like we do have hard games and your Demon Souls and Dark Souls type super hard shit, but you don't really see the retro difficulty much outside the intentional indie shit. So Sega is like hardcore Nintendo basically to me.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird you say the Master System because like when I hear people talk about that time, they mostly talking about the OG Nintendo. Like when you played that back in the day, did you always hear like, oh, you gotta use the Nintendo Power or whatever that corny shit was?
Like the accessories that they had with that shit is what you mean?
No, 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 no. Like, well, like I know the Master System wasn't really popular back then. I'm just saying, like, was everybody just like, hey, get the Nintendo, Nintendo Power, Power Glove, all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the base first Nintendo and the base Sega systems were like the master systems, and then like the Power Glove and shit, those were accessories. I'd never owned a Power Glove, but I did get to try one. It was it was horrendous. It was garbage. I think I tried to play like one game with it and it was just awkward as shit. Like a lot of this stuff back then, and I got to try a lot of it, was very gimmicky. I'm super into VR right now, right? And their answer to VR back then was that fucking red headset, where like they released it along with a Mario game and they called that
Oh,
VR.
the Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy, thank you. That's the name of it. I can remember. And I remember that I owned that, and that gave me migraines. So like a lot of the kind of accessory bullshit bonus stuff was just crap. Imho, I don't know. Maybe you liked it.
Honestly, though, I want to collect the Power Glove, but just to like, take care of it, clean it up, and just hang it up like as a prop.
Oh yeah, no, but like as a cool thing, for your dude cave or whatever, it's awesome, yeah. But just as an actual gaming accessory, it was bad. But
Oh yeah,
I
no,
can appreciate collectible wise wanting one though. I get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I heard that was horrible, but
I think if you watch, I don't know if you watch Angry Video Game Nerd.
of course.
Yeah, he did a review on the glove and played a variety of different games and sims with it, and was just about as happy about it as you can imagine him to be. So that was pretty entertaining if you're looking to kind of get into and see that in action.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I was around, YouTube when AVGN was popular. It's just like I never watched them, but oddly enough, like one random day, I'm like, oh yeah, I heard of this guy, and then I just like binge watched all the episodes till now.
It's funny, but like I did basically the same thing, except I went full in. I was into like a lot of content creators from when that guy with the glasses, the website was more the
Mhm.
primary source. So I was into Nostalgia Critic and AVGN on his thing, and I was into even Nostalgia Chick. I don't know if you ever watched any of her stuff. Uh,
Nah.
no, she's kind of a drama llama a little bit now associated with that, but like I like a lot of her content. She like puts out quality, good game and movie analyses. And actually, it was kind of collectively all of them on the website that made me want to sort of start doing my own shit. Um, haven't really watched any of them in like forever though. I gotta be honest. I don't know about you.
Yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, I mainly just stick with AVGN.
Yeah, yeah. You don't care much for like the guy with the glasses content, like your
Mm,
Spoonie and all of them, and
Nah.
no, no.
To be honest, I've never really heard of them, and whenever I try to watch their content, I just couldn't really get into it.
That's cool, man. Everybody's into whatever, and it's really mostly just their older shit that's worth anything anyway. I don't really watch much of their newer stuff anymore, like I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. So yeah, I mean, retro for me though, like mostly it's horror games. So, um, like I played most of the non-horror I ever played was when I was a kid and I wasn't really allowed too much. And since then, it's just kind of exclusively mostly all I play.
It it's weird though. Like as a kid, I was never into horror because of course I was a kid. I was fucking scared or whatever. But yeah, though I just never really liked horror. But for games that I really played back in the day, it was just Vice City, GTA 3, and besides that, it was a Tony Hawk series. Like the Tony Hawk series were big for me. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
like I started out with like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, then it basically went on from there.
yeah. So are you more of like esports kind of stuff or like I think I played one Tony Hawk thing on like a PlayStation forever ago and not really enough to remember it because it's not really my jam. Um, but yeah, is that kind of your preferred style of games?
And yeah, it is, but I'm not really into it. I'm not really into esports though.
No, no, okay. Yeah. Thank God, because it's not a time to be right now, really, with the
Yeah,
quality of the games coming out.
yeah, and like I know this is controversial, but it really doesn't matter. But like, what did you think of that whole Blizzard in China thing?
I think it's very obvious who our overlords are, or at least who the overlords for a lot of major gaming and non-gaming companies are. It's no surprise that companies like Sony and companies like that are basically kowtowing to them because they've got a lot of interests in China. As far as Blizzard's concerned, I think they were actually in the middle of opening up a new Chinese-based headquarters at the time that all that controversy started, which contributed heavily to them coming down on their own players. If you remember the whole debacle with what was the guy's name? That one guy that spoke against China, the competitor. basically they had a Chinese competitor on one of their online tournaments speak out, and they banned him and fucked with his winnings and stuff. I mean, they eventually gave it back and lessened the punishment and shit, but like that's how bad it is that they'll even punish their own customer base. So,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
pretty bad.
it's fucking horrible. Like during that whole situation, I mean, I get it why you would ban, the customer. I get why you would ban the person saying free Hong Hong or whatever, but they just fuck everybody with the announcers, the money. Like when you saw that video, you saw all the announcers just hide, go under the table. Like this shit is like really bad.
And it's going to get worse because, I mean, they were already catching heat for the Hong Kong shit. But now we've got, the coronavirus stuff happening,
Oh
and
hell
their
yeah.
exaggeration, if I, with the biggest air quotes, their exaggeration of all the information involved there. And they're not, nobody's number one fan of China right now. So that's just going to get worse the more these
Oh
companies,
hell yeah.
kowtow to them.
Now I want to talk about the coronavirus, but fuck it,
Probably
because
better not to. Like that's honestly, if I can give you some advice, that's the most I'll touch on it. But like YouTube's kind of iffy about people talking about it right now. There's I'm not sure if this is substantiated or not, but there's rumors of coronavirus related videos being taken down, which I think you'll be fine because you're not going to put it in your thumbnail and your title and shit.
yeah,
And
of
we're not
course
really
not.
criticizing, but like there's been some politics happening behind the scenes on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, just it's bad, just it might be left for dead in a few years. That's
That would be nice. Yeah, I could go for a zombie apocalypse, man. I think hope springs eternal. I don't think it's gonna happen, but would be my number one bucket list wish list. Yeah.
okay. Anyway, back to GameCube. Yeah,
Yeah, we went off on another tangent. I'm sorry.
it's alright. So yeah, I kind of just love this hair because that's basically what I was a part of. So
Mhm.
so with the original Xbox, the first game I got was fucking Halo because like when I played this thing for the first time, I didn't really like it per se, but trying to play it a few years later, I still don't quite like it, but I'm just gonna kind of like suffer through it and beat it. Basically, yeah,
Did you play it single or multiplayer?
single. See,
Oh my God, like one of the rare few people that I have met that played the single campaign. I tried Halo when I was younger, and I did single player, and I think I didn't really enjoy it much. I don't know anybody who does great, but I think you have to probably be a multiplayer player to kind of get into it as well. If you don't like the single player stuff, and I'm just not.
yeah, yeah, I could understand that,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's still like, and it's kind of weird. Like when I buy retro games, like I used to play, what was it? 20 Xbox Game 3 as a kid. So when I buy today, I'm just gonna try to go beyond past what I played as a kid. It's kind of just something weird that I kind of do. So like if I was stuck on a level as a kid, I'm like, okay, let me see if I could go beyond it, beat the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you ever? Here's a question. Did you ever like try uh, skating for real? Like, did it ever inspire you to want to learn or?
Yeah, it did. Like I used to skate for like, I don't know, 5, 10 years at the most.
Oh, that's
Then
cool. Yeah.
yeah, I was basically able to do like kick flips, ollies, whatever. Then I broke my fucking collarbone or whatever, and I haven't really skated since. But I'm thinking about going back into it.
I tried. I had when I was like 12 or 13, I think I had my parents buy me a shitty little skateboard, and I tried my hand at it, and I was like pretty good at staying on top of the board while it moved. So that's my
Actually,
greatest accomplishment there. Yeah.
actually, wait. When I first got my like real skateboard,
Hmm.
I picked it up from the lady. I just picked it up and I tried to ride it. Of course, I bust my ass and bang my head or whatever. But it's it's weird. Like if anybody, is gonna buy a skateboard or whatever, that's kind of like what you have to do.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah, you gotta learn.
Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta go through your shit. I fell a few times and bumped my head a few times and just really stupidly decided to try riding it down some stairs a few times. You know what I mean?
Oh no.
Yeah. There was an attempt made. It was not a good idea. It didn't work out so well, but I'm still here today, so
Yeah.
it's temporary damage.
Um. Let Let's see. I guess we could talk about like Need for Speed, like back in the day, though. Like I don't know why, but I still love the series to this day, even with EA's bullshit.
Yeah, not exactly a reputable company anymore if they ever were, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Unless you
like,
really like a sense of accomplishment and purpose. If
like
you understand the reference there, sorry.
the thing I don't like about EA is that they have so many properties to great games, like the EA Skate series. I know.
Oh, I know. Star Wars.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they're just fucking up a whole bunch
The
of things.
Sims, man. I'm a Sims fan. It breaks my heart that they've got that entire fucking franchise so locked down. That DLCs that came out 30 years ago. Do you know somebody calculated if you wanted to buy all the classic Sims and the DLCs for the current prices EA sells them at, and they put the total into the thousands of dollars.
Oh
I
Jesus.
know they're such shitlords that I swear to God they're probably selling them at prices higher than when they retailed originally. But I don't know.
Now I know I've said this before in my videos, but when is EA gonna get their shit together? Like
Never.
like it's yeah, I'm tired of their bullshit. But if I want to buy a football game, there's nobody else. If I want to buy a soccer game, nobody else. You
No, I
know,
don't think I mean, I've never looked. Have they really tied up like the sports market of gaming that badly? Because I'm not that familiar with sports gaming. It's not really my bag.
it's right. They basically got everything except for basketball. That's obviously 2K.
Right, yeah.
But besides that, everything's basically held down.
That's pretty shit. That's pretty shit.
Exactly.
That's like if you told me it's like you can only get your horror games from EA now, and then I kill myself. Yeah,
Yeah,
would not work for me.
yeah. Overall, EA is just really, really fucking bad. And
Yeah.
it's just like if you wanna play an online game. Oh, okay, you got the beginner gun. All right, you wanna buy a new gun? Nope, fucking $4.99.
Oh God, that's fucked up, man. They're very exploitative, and I'm honestly shocked that they have somehow still retained a fan base. But I think it's because of what you said, and that is because they have exclusive rights to a lot of different sorts of games. So people are forced to just stick to them, is probably the truth.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I can't get fucking Sims anywhere else. So am I gonna get Sims, right? I love Sims. What?
exactly. And I mean, the thing is, like, I used to love The Sims back in the day. I actually started off with Sims 3,
Mm.
and then I buy Sims 4 for free for the PSN store,
Hmm.
and it's just they I think they changed like the whole fucking system up. Like I
Oh, it's
create my
terrible.
I create my character, and then they're just like, okay, pick a place, and then I just end up in a grass field. Like in Sims 3, you get a fucking house. Now you have to build your own shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind, but I fucking suck at it.
Yeah, I started on Sims 2 and then I played Sims 3 and 4. I mean, 2 for me was like when you had pretty much the most content, not only in terms of like what EA gave you with a base game, but also that the fan base for custom content and mods and stuff was humongous, bigger than anything else. And it continued on into 3 and it was still pretty okay. And now with the most recent iterations, like you all the variety and stuff that you used to be able to pick up in the catalog to buy shit for your house is all locked behind more bullshit DLC purchases.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's not, if you're looking to get into The Sims now, you're better off fucking totally not pirating. I'd never tell you to do that. Don't do that. Don't go and do that to get your Sims fixed. Fixed.
Yeah, if you're trying to get into the Sims, just start with 2 or 3.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say those are still all right. I mean, I think was it? I mean, the big turn for The Sims was when Hot Date came out back in the 90s. And I think that was for Sims 2, if I remember right. But like that's when they were still trying. And now you have mods where they have like 60 variations of pets. It's just stupid.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of started with. I feel like they kind of started this with Sims 3. Like, I didn't really pay attention to all the DLC stuff, but like, man, you have to pay for like pets, dogs, all this other shit, and fucking, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and then you go back to Sims 2 and you don't have to pay for any of that shit because it's all custom made by fans and easily downloadable and available. Pets, decoration themes, fucking painting statues, whatever the hell else. Now you gotta pay more. I don't know why people put up with EA, really. I know there's a desperation issue because you can't get certain things anywhere else, like you said, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at least the game industry is like kind of changing. With
Yeah.
Cyberpunk 2077, no microtransactions, none of that bullshit. I think with Doom Eternal, none of that bullshit.
What they really need to change is the work environments for a lot of these companies. I mean, EA is basically a salt mine,
Right.
It's basically slavery for a lot of these people. Pennies on the dollar, and you got to sleep at the job site and shit. That's one of the first things they should completely restructure.
Wait. They had to sleep like on the job site.
Yeah, there are some companies, and there's rumors about this for Blizzard. Certainly, there's been people who have leaked information in regards to how EA treats its employees. But there are some major gaming companies where it's so low paid. Combined with difficult to get into, combined with very, very easy to get kicked out of. So now you have these underpaid, grossly overworked people that are terrified of getting sick or anything else getting in the way of them completing a job day because they fucking take a day off and they get fired. Because for a lot of people, it's like the dream job. Everybody wants to go into gaming. So they decide, well, I'll get abused for a while to try to climb up the ladder and get to somewhere I want once I've broken into the industry. And it's rife with it. It's absolutely rife with abuse. That would be one of the first things they should change.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, gamers. I'm sorry, I have to say that because that's fucking cringe. But people, people are patient. They'll wait for a good game. But of course, these fucking companies are just like, no, we need it now. We need it now, and it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But
They're
why?
so desperate to meet deadlines that, well, I mean, that's how you get shit that comes out absolutely laden with bugs, man. That's how you get shit come out that's broken or incomplete, because, we got to hit the fucking deadline,
I don't know why we can't just go back to like the good old days, when 3D. Well, that's kind of before my time, but why can't we just go back to the good old days when like it was experimental, when things are just kind of like better. I mean, I know things are good now with the graphics and stuff like that, but what's the sacrifice of the good graphics when you have people working on job sites, underpaid, getting abused? Why?
The big problem with why the industry changed so drastically in the amount of time that it did was that gaming and that kind of stuff used to be like a fairly niche market. Like it was, if you imagined a gamer back when like the Nintendo or Atari or whatever, you imagine this basement dwelling fucking loser. And that, so companies weren't really as stringent as they are now. And the more popular it got, the more people realized there was money to be exploited and made in it, then the harsher the conditions became. It's like that with anything that people gradually realize, I can make a ton of money on this. It happens every time.
That's true, because like remember when like the iPhone first came out and there's all these good games on the App Store, Angry Birds,
Yeah.
Fruit
Yeah.
Ninja, Cut the Rope. Now
Yeah.
it's just all garbage.
Yeah. I remember when I don't know if you watch Zero Punctuation with Yahtzee.
Nah, I never heard of it.
It's a really great, I really highly recommend it. Zero Punctuation. It's a guy that does these short little, like, 2-minute animation reviews of popular games, and he's very funny. And he made exactly that point actually in one of his videos, and I quite agree with that.
And, I mean, I'll check
Just
it out.
having a drink.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, that's alright.
Mm.
But yeah, though it's just like I really can't speak. I really can't like make up a point anymore because I'm kind of stuck on this topic and I need to change because this topic's been worn on too long. But yeah,
Yeah, that's all right. We can swap into something else. Just change the subject.
all right.
Yeah.
What was it like during the N64 and the PS1 era?
I actually couldn't tell you that because my family was like pretty poor growing up. So I originally when I got the Nintendo system, it was already out of date, but it was all that we could really afford. Like by the time I got that, I think the PS1 was already out, so that's how behind I was.
Oh,
And I didn't get into the Sony shit until the PS2. So that's when I kind of made the leap from the retro system to the new age shit. So it was a pretty dramatic shift for me, actually, going from like the pixely Mario shit to like, here, enjoy Silent Hill 1. You know, yeah,
yeah.
that was that was an adjustment for me.
Well, I mean, I guess you came in at like a good time because you started with like 8-bit, Master System, OG Sonic, the original
Hmm.
Mario.
Hmm.
Then you just came in straight to the San Andreas, Tony Hawk series,
Yeah, yeah.
Sonic, Silent
Like
Hill.
the new stuff, all the horror shit. I played the classics of GTA. I think my first GTA was 3, I think. Um, and I haven't really played any of the old ones like the San Andreas or anything else, unfortunately. And I didn't really, I don't know. Have you played the newest one?
GTA 5.
Hmm.
Yeah, I actually have a story to tell with that. Like when GTA 5 first released, like I was at the midnight launch or whatever. As soon as this dude got literally the first copy, he ran to his car and did a straight up fucking burnout in the fucking parking lot.
Nice. So he was super into it.
Yeah.
As long as he didn't, hit any pedestrians on the way home or something. That's yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, it was like a huge graphic adjustment for me. It was a story because I was used to like really, I don't want to say simple stupid, but comparatively speaking, simple stupid stories and stuff. Rescue the princess and collect the coins or whatever the fuck else. And then getting into like the PS2 was like I found everything, not just the graphics, so much more interesting and complex after that. So like I binged a lot of stuff that had been out for a while. I mean, Silent Hill, when I played it for the first time, I played it because I rented it at a Blockbuster Videos when those were still a thing. Remember?
Actually, though, what's weird though, like with Blockbuster Video, like it's weird. I'm nostalgic about like all the weirdest shit, but I don't really care about Blockbuster. Like sure I went in there like once or twice as a kid, but I don't really get why people are so nostalgic for it.
I'm not nostalgic for like specifically for that store, but I'm nostalgic for just video rental places in general. Like they were a big part of how I kept myself entertained as a kid, what we could afford. And like a lot of all my first horror movies that I started watching, I rented at video stores because my parents didn't know any better. There's a lot of stuff like that I kind of got from there. So it wasn't so much even like the Blockbuster chain for me. It was just the act of going out and finding a movie or a game to rent and being excited that they had it in stock. And just taking it home and that whole experience was what I'm nostalgic for, really.
I could understand that.
Yeah.
I actually have this one thing. Like as a kid, I used to be fucking addicted to like Jimmy Neutron or whatever, and I know that's way after your time, but like I just remember walking into a GameStop and then I saw Jimmy Neutron on the GameCube case, and I'm just like, oh, okay, you gotta have this shit, and well, I took it home and I liked it, but looking at it now, it's horrible.
It's the rose tinted glasses. There's a lot of shit that I used to love when I was a kid that I look back on like, what the fuck was I smoking at that
Exactly.
time? Yeah. There's a lot of like old like late 80s, early 90s shows I watch. Plus like I'm a fan of like retro cinema anyway. So like I even when I was growing up in the 90s, I would watch stuff from like the early 70s and 80s and stuff. So it just had really weird combination of shit that I enjoyed.
Yeah, and I mean, I was never really into movies, back in the day. But as soon as like Netflix dropped, I kind of discovered, Pulp Fiction, Scarface, Forrest Gump,
Oh
and,
yeah.
and it's weird. Like I never saw these movies before, but like, why doesn't it? You know what? No, basically we're going on the same topic, but why doesn't Hollywood get their shit together and create like actual content, instead of releasing sequel after sequel after sequel?
Yeah, you got to kind of look to the indie creators and stuff like that and studios for the really good shit. Like Triple A or Hollywood or whatever, they're not going to give you anything new. They're going to give you what they know sells, and it's just nothing new there. So you got to look to the independents um, for anything really interesting now.
Yeah, man, I could feel that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm actually gonna have to end it. Well,
Cool.
I could actually end it off with a few more questions.
Sure. Yeah, man. Hey, it's your show.
All right. Well, this is gonna be kind of a weird one, but when are you ever gonna consider showing your face?
Oh, I've actually talked about it on my stream recently. That probably within the year. I'm starting to get. I do everything as I feel like it. You know, the content. Like I do rants when I feel like it. I game when I feel like it. I when I stop that, it'll be because I feel like it. Like nothing is for me controlled by like monetary or by anyone else. It's just as I feel like it because I have like fucking ADHD. So. Probably within a year as I get tired of using like the face rig or the mask or whatever. Eventually,
Actually,
yeah.
actually, yeah, that's something I actually want to ask you about. Like,
Hmm.
how is it that you like wear the mask and still get good audio? Because I'm actually considering,
Well, now
doing.
I wear the hat. Like now I get it because I don't appear on camera anymore. So for the mostly like sometimes I still do for special stuff, but now I just chill and I don't appear on it. So it's not even a factor anymore. Like I'm not wearing a mask right now or anything.
Right.
You know, I don't cosplay 24/7 despite my best efforts. But uh I switched over to a half mask when I was wearing a mask, which made the audio a lot easier. And then I used to use like a lavalier mic and record my shit on a separate track and then clean it up a ton. And like a lot of the weird stuff was a lot of the off parts of the audio was also kind of not really corrected, but easier to miss after you kind of pitch the voice the way that I used to do it. So that
Mhm.
was another thing. I don't know. It just plus there was like a ton of room on the inside of the mask. Like it was actually quite offset of my face. Like it would have these little paddings to not be directly pressed against my face because I hate that. So there were like these little paddings to keep it offset and make it easier.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's kind of like my last question because that was actually some like I used to watch you like during the beginning days when you're on YouTube or whatever,
Yeah.
but that was just something I was curious about. But
Sure, man. Yeah.
I guess follow Girl Does Rant on Twitch, follow
Yeah.
me on Twitch, and follow my Discord and follow her Discord if you want to.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Is there anything else you want to say?
Uh, winner, chicken dinner. I don't know. Nothing.
All right.
Running
Guess
on dry.
guess I'll see you guys later.
Bye.